and say yeah, and say yeah. One night in town, my niggas round, throwing money, them bitches hit the ground, then bring it back up, she bring it back up, put them in that black truck, so many hoes they lapped up, my niggas leaning, diddy bopping, let's get it poppin', I said let's get it poppin', just look at how she drop it, little mama certified pro, she need her own show, slide down that pole and grind slow, hell no I ain't count my dough, I came to blow it all. And get some brains, trying to find Miss Know-It-All. And I got my cup filled, you see how them bucks peel, young pimp. See, I grab me up a chicken just chill. In the back of the club, with a snack full of dough. Drop it low, like a pro, bring it back, that's what's up. All my dogs, up in here, plus his hoes, everywhere. Niggas stunt like you don't care. Throw that money in the air, and say yeah. Throw that money in one hand, and say yeah. Throw that money in the air, and say yeah. Throw that money in one hand, and say yeah. Throw that money in the air, and say yeah. I'm high and drunk doing my same dance. They call it Pocahontas, doing that rain dance. Talking dope, I got it, so make it rain, man. Cause the flow retarded, sorta like that rain, man. Borderline insane, man. Look at all these dames, damn. When a nigga getting money, and I'm a changed man. You smell that haze, said, know my game plan. Trying to get it smacking, I ain't with that game plan. Little mama work for every.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are back to Big Man again, so we are live Thursday, December 22nd, 2016. My name is Jeff. As always with you, they call me the Big Man on campus. I'm here with my co-host, Ryan D'Amico. Ryan, how you doing today?
What's up, Jeff?
Hope you're doing well, man.
I'm doing fine.
Good. You are off or what?
I'm sorry?
Are you off for Christmas or?
Yeah. I'm off. Yeah, I'll be off. I guess Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So
You get a lot of off days,
that'll
Ryan.
be
I got to
good.
give it to you. You are off a lot. Good for you. That's good stuff there. But welcome everyone out there listening. If you're just jumping on, tuning in, appreciate it. Hope everyone enjoys the show. We have we've gained a lot of new listeners. Ryan, guys are hitting me up, telling me they enjoy the show, and I appreciate everyone listening in. So if you're out there, feel free. Many listen later or whatever. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoy the show. You can communicate with us on the chat box. All you got to do on the Spreaker app, just hit the little message icon. We will go over the college basketball card tonight. We will also go over the NFL game tonight. It's a Thursday night, Ryan. You got Eagles-Giants. And we will give our unbiased opinion as Eagle fans on this game tonight. Either way. Also, Ryan, we'll do a little buy or sell a little bit later, and I know you got a little five we'll deal with. So as far as any notable basketball today, there wasn't much, Ryan, unless you care about Chicago State and Alcorn State. Arizona State, they get a big win today. Finally a blowout victory for the Sun Devils. I had to feel good for Bobby Hurley's squad. Other than that, there wasn't a lot going on early on, Ryan. I do have a play myself here coming up at 5:30, so we'll take a look at that. I got Nevada hosting UC Santa Barbara, and we'll go over. We'll hope to get that one. Ryan, and last night on the show, 1 and 2, we win with. What did we have last night? I gotta look. We got to relook at it. We had UNC. They got the job done. We had Michigan or Oakland. Interesting. Oakland back-to-back hurt them last night. What are you going to do? And UCLA, a weird performance by them. They didn't come anywhere close to covering that game. Did you happen to see any of that game, Ryan?
Didn't watch any of it. No.
Yeah, they had really
saw the score though, but
they had no shot to cover that game. It was really pitiful. They just didn't come to play, and it is what it is. But we'll jump into tonight. If you've been following along at home, we're 19-17 with college basketball free plays, still up above the profit margin. Not heavily, but we still have plenty of season to go to get that record up, Ryan. And again, like I said, we will talk about everything going on in sports a little bit later with the buy or sell aspect. Let's jump into tonight's action, Ryan, and see what we might be looking at. Again, these plays are for entertainment only. I have to make that clear. You don't have to play them. No one's putting a gun to your head. They're strictly for free advice. Ryan, let's jump into it. First play I'm going to look at, I'm going to go with IPFW tonight, Ryan. -10 against Detroit Mercy. Game goes at 7 o'clock. Ryan, IPFW, we know, very good against the spread over the years. I think they're 41-21 over the last 3 years against the spread. Just been total money. And now they're facing a Detroit Mercy team that, I mean, is really, really bad. I mean, IPFW, 88 points a game, shooting 50% this year. You know, you have to point out that, I mean, they shoot the three ball at a high level, 41%. I mean, Detroit Mercy at home, I mean, they're giving up 85 points a game. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the country, Ryan. Detroit has always kind of struggled to score the basketball, 345th, or stop scoring the basketball, 345th in the country. They've given up 80 points or more 7 different times. This should be a pretty high-scoring game, but you know, IPFW's obviously they've been a team that this year, you know, they faced the likes of Notre Dame and they beat Indiana. So you know, they're definitely a team that has the ability to, you know, to face good foes. I wouldn't categorize Detroit Mercy as a good foe. Dick Vitale's not walking through the door, Ryan, tonight. I just look for them to really blitz Detroit Mercy in this spot, and I'll go with the team that's made us a lot of money over the years.
Yeah, I would go with IPFW as well. I mean, this is pretty cut and dry for me as well. Notice you didn't spend a whole lot of time breaking it down, Jeff. I don't think you really need to spend too much time breaking this down. Detroit, I remember last year Detroit was scrappy at times.
Yeah,
I remember Detroit last year, you know, really kind of battling with teams and putting up a fight. When, you know, and you know, when you were back against them, there were times, and you know, particularly early, I remember last year where, you know, they did. Kind of screw me a couple times, but Detroit's bad this year, like you said. They're 2-9, really kind of floundering out the gate here, not getting it done defensively. That's the big thing for me that I take from this game. The fact that they're giving up, you know, almost 85 points a game. That's really staggering to me, especially with the IPFW team coming in here, who this year, look, clicking on all cylinders offensively, scoring upwards of 90 points per game and shooting the ball well at a high percentage, Jeff. Something that you alluded to here. And look, everyone knows, if you've listened to the show over the years, we've talked about IPFW enough with the ATS numbers and whatnot. So yeah, you know, Fort Wayne should be able to cover this easily. I would expect a relatively easy performance tonight, even though it is on the road.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do, you're only laying 9.5 here, not a particularly high number or anything. Detroit Mercy, a young team. That's kind of one of the problems. You mentioned last year, Ryan, they had a guy, Paris Bass, who a really good player. He's moved on. So, you know, they don't really have that go-to scorer that they did last year, and you know, they just really don't play defense. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, they've given up 80 points or more, you know, 7 times this year. So I also want to point out, Ryan, that in the exhibition season, they actually lost to Wayne State and Ferris State.
Yeah, it's not good.
At home. It's not good. They gave up 80-plus points in both those as well. So, again, you know, IPFW should get the job done here. A multitude of different scores for that team right now, and they're shooting the three ball at a high level. Next one, you know, this game I'm not really like betting it from a standpoint of, yeah, I really love Wyoming or anything, but I mean, DePaul, Ryan, over the last 10 neutral court games, 0-10 against the spread. They're just not very good, DePaul, when you know, away from Chicago. I mean,
are they good in Chicago though?
Well, yeah, and
we've
even
talked
then,
about that before. They're a terrible team.
Yeah,
they're never good.
Yeah, even then. I mean, you look at their road games this year: 64.5 points a game, shooting 33%. 33%. That's awful.
Yeah,
that is really bad. And defensively, they've really had trouble getting stops. This Wyoming team, Ryan, I mean, playing well. 5 in a row they've won. They're scoring 80 points a game, and defense has been really good. I mean, they're giving up 37% from the field to opponents. I love the way they've been rebounding the basketball. They're the better rebounding team here. They shoot good free throws. I mean, this is really just a play against DePaul. I mean, really not a team familiar with neutral court games. They don't play a lot of postseason matchups. They're usually a one-and-done team in the Big East tournament. They just don't really have a lot of experience doing these sort of things. And, Wyoming, a team that gritty, really get after you. And, look, I mean, they've played really well right now, Wyoming. The Cowboys are looking good, and this is really just a fate of DePaul. You can't back a team that has not won on a neutral court over the last 10 games. I mean, 10 games on neutral courts for DePaul is a lot of games. I mean, they don't play a lot of neutral court games. They're just not good. And on the road, I'm not interested in DePaul, especially out on the West Coast. I like Wyoming laying the small number here at 3.5.
Yeah, look, and like I said in that little tidbit that I interjected there, you and I talked, I forget when it was, a week or so ago, about DePaul. Not sure how they came up, not sure why they came up, but I made the comment that they're just never good. I mean, at least some teams, Seton Hall had a nice year last year. At least some teams, and they were in the Big East for so long, in that really top-heavy Big East when it was all together like that, and but they can never put a good season together. They're always a doormat, and this year, talk about being a doormat, they are extremely low, Jeff. I mean, you talked about some of their numbers, which are extremely, really just. It's disgusting, really. I don't even really have any other words for it, really. It is disgusting. I mean, on the road, are you aware what they're shooting from 3 on the road?
Why don't you tell me?
Like, if this stat is correct, which I'm pretty sure it is, they're shooting 9% from 3.
Yeah, I mean, they've only been on the road twice.
I think it's only been two games.
But still, that's really bad.
But still, I mean, that's really bad. And rebound, and like I said, I like to say once in a while. At least I like to look for that when a team like this is really inferior and just doesn't have a lot going for itself. I like to look for that one kind of silver lining for them, I guess you could say, whether it's the 3-point shot or they hold a big advantage on the glass, or the opposition gets into foul trouble a lot. I can't find that in this game. I can't find a situation where I'm like, well, DePaul does this really a lot better than Wyoming, so maybe that'll keep them hanging around. I don't see it. I think this is a really good spot for Wyoming. I think this is a great under-the-radar play. People say, DePaul, Wyoming, I'll pass. I think this is a good spot for Wyoming.
I really like this game. I mean, and you add in the fact that Wyoming's playing good basketball right now. And you have to wonder, who was the person that said, like, let's put DePaul in the Big East? Like, how did that ever happen? They're just lost every year. Yep. I mean, there's certain teams where you just look at and you're like, how are they in the Big East? I mean, it's not like they're like a storied basketball program or anything.
Not at all.
They just suck. One silver lining for you, Ryan, would be DePaul does have the best player in the court, Billy Garrett. I mean, he's the best player on the court. I mean, he just doesn't have much around him. It's kind of a one-man show. I was kind of thinking, Ryan, some famous players that went there. They actually have a decent amount of
DePaul,
alumni.
Sure, yeah.
Rod Strickland, Wilson Chandler, George Mikan went there. Didn't know that. Quentin Richardson, I know you remember him.
Yep,
sure.
Yep.
Tyrone Corbin, he was a coach for a couple of years a while back. They definitely have some guys I never knew that went there.
Sure.
So I guess they have a decent.
Every once in a while, someone comes along, yeah. But
yeah, once in a while, right?
It's just the other 4 and the other bench players around them that aren't any good either.
Right. Yeah, again, good point by you, Ryan. Kind of an under the radar. This is a neutral court game, so remember that. But I think Wyoming definitely has. And the thing about Wyoming that's cool is like when I'm looking at games as far as young kids in college. You definitely like when you're backing a road team or neutral court. You definitely want to almost look to the team that Wyoming. They travel all over the place. There's rugged conditions. They're just kind of better athletes. I feel like, and I don't know. I think DePaul's a greener on the gills when it comes to that. So I'll go Wyoming minus 3.5 as my other play. As far as that though, that's really all I'm too interested in. I have 2 plays tonight, Brian, that I'm getting involved in off the record. I'm on 2 games. One other one, I definitely like what I've seen from Iowa lately. I mean, Iowa could really pound Delaware State tonight. Delaware State is a really bad offensive team. I mean, they're only averaging about 60 points a game.
Delaware State, correct me if I'm wrong, coming off a tough opponent as well. Too,
yeah, they
right?
lost 103-56 to Indiana.
Indiana, that's who they played.
And the way I was playing right now, I mean, this Iowa team is really playing well.
Right.
They're off that interesting game the other night against North Dakota, a game in which, look, we said, I mean, North Dakota's a pretty decent team. I mean, they're going to hang around, and they ended up pushing that game. But, I just get the feeling, the one concern I have, and why it's not a huge play, is the whole, do they really care about this game?
Right.
But, I mean, Delaware State's pretty bad. They beat St. John's. Who cares? St. John's sucks. But you look at, should I be impressed with that Delaware State beat St. John's? I guess somewhat.
I mean, I would be a little impressed, but I mean,
I guess on this
St.
level,
John's is bad, but Delaware State's a lower echelon team.
But Iowa, I mean, Northern Iowa, they won 69-46. They're playing better defense. They beat Iowa State 78-64. They're starting to get stuff straight, and they can score like crazy. I'll tell you what, I'm going to add that as a play. I'm going to go with Iowa minus 28.
Okay.
I think they hammer Delaware State tonight. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I would, like I said, they're coming off, Delaware State I'm talking about, they're coming off a tough, an absolute ass whipping taking from when they went to Indiana over the weekend. So now you got to turn around and face another team, another prominent D1 Big Ten team in Iowa who, look, like you said, Iowa's been kind of getting it together with Peter Jock, someone you mentioned that
I really like him.
He was there last year and whatnot, so he's kind of taken control, I think, as a leader of the team this year. But look, if it was me, you like it. I don't think I could back Delaware State. I'll be honest. I don't know that would be something I'd be interested in, where they have to go to Indiana and then go to Iowa. That's just not something. And I'll tell you what, Delaware State in a brutal travel schedule here. So you talk about backing them tonight, maybe you want to back them or fade them, going forward, and they have to go to Hawaii, and then they play 2 more road games after that. So they're on a nice little road trip here. So, look, Delaware State doesn't do anything for me. They don't do anything for me any year, whether it's basketball, football. Look, I grew up in Delaware, and when you talk about the Blue Hens, they're from time to time, Delaware Blue Hens, football or basketball, they're surprised. You remember a couple years ago, they had a nice run on the basketball court. Delaware State, though, their prize joy, I think, is Jamal Jackson, former center for the Eagles.
The MEAC is a bad basketball group, and Delaware State. At this point, their non-conference schedule is winding down. Which, when you're a program like this, you take guarantee games, you get crushed, and you get paid for it. I mean, what do they have on the radar? Do they have any games after this?
Well, coming up,
I think they're ready to just get home.
The rest of their it will be all conference play. Like I said, they go to Hawaii, and then after that, they're going to be diving into conference play.
I think they're ready to just get out of Dodge, really. So I think Iowa lays the smackdown. So I'll add that to my group. I'll lay the 28 with Iowa right now. But anything on LaSalle, they caught some money today. Yeah, Mercer's an interesting group. They're well coached, Bob Hoffman. They're coming off, Ryan, a really nice performance against Auburn. They went into Auburn and they did lose, but it was by 2 points. Hit 10 threes in that game. Look, the thing about Mercer, they're going to jack a lot of jump shots. Ryan, LaSalle, one of the worst teams in the country against the three. I think they allow opponents to shoot 42% from distance. Pretty bad.
Yeah, not good.
Going down to Mercer, I actually kind of like Mercer here. Kind of a weird game for LaSalle. That's not a game they usually schedule. Going kind of down to the Deep South.
Right.
LaSalle off of a dogfight against Florida Gulf Coast, a game that you really got to have balls to schedule. Florida Gulf Coast, a good mid-major year after year. I kind of like Mercer in that game. Getting 2.5 at home, I would kind of go with them here.
Yeah, Steam going against the home team here, like whoever it was, Best Gamble alluded to, LaSalle getting some late steam here. Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I only saw LaSalle once this year. That was the game against Villanova, where they kind of opened my eyes a little bit. That was, I think, just more getting up for that game more than anything. Haven't seen Mercer play this year, so I do know though Mercer has played really good defense at home so far this year. But yeah, I'll take your word for it.
I mean, LaSalle's wins this year: Delaware, Drexel, Lehigh, Bucknell, Florida Gulf Coast. What do 4 of those teams have, Ryan, in comparison to their wins? They're only either in Delaware or Pennsylvania.
Right.
So, look, I mean, step-up games, LaSalle hasn't gotten the job done. Haven't really been on the road very much. Been on the road. This is their road games, Ryan. Temple, Drexel, both in the city.
Yep.
And Georgetown.
Wow.
Not
close.
Not particularly far either. So, yeah, I kind of want to lean with the dog here, bro, if I were you. Yeah, we'll get to that game. Is there anyone in the country with a worse travel schedule than UT Arlington? Well, look, I think like teams like Savannah State and teams like that. I mean, they play anybody, and they're in like Washington one day, and then they take payments. That's how they get their programs. But as far as like a major non check casher team, I don't know. I mean, no, I don't think. I mean, but Texas Arlington, you look at, I mean, some of the things that they've done this year. I mean, you go out to St. Mary's and win by double digits. That's pretty impressive. I don't know. I can't say that there is. I have to look more at their schedule, but they're off a win against Bradley. They went kind of to the Midwest and played. One thing about Texas Arlington, they're not scared to take games. I mean, they went to Minnesota, went to Arkansas, went to Texas, went all the way to New York and played Fordham. Wow. St. Mary's. You might be right there with that.
They've been all over.
Yeah, they've definitely played a good schedule. And you look at this record at 9-3. I mean, playing good basketball. I don't know though. Loyola Marymount, not a really great team or anything. I don't know. I didn't really look much into that. I don't know much about Loyola Marymount. I haven't really dealt with them too much this year. That line opened 5.5. I think he even saw 6 out there, down to 3.5. I saw a video actually. Somebody did on SBR about this game, and it was something about off a straight up win or something. I don't know, Trey. I'll send it to you. It was some good information though. I don't know though. Their travel schedule's tough for
very tough.
UT Arlington, but I'm not ever willing to really bet against UT Arlington just because I've had a lot of good success with them over the years. Ryan, any other games that you're looking at? You got Michigan hosting Furman tonight.
They play Furman tonight. I mean, whoop-de-doo.
Did they ever play anyone other than like UCLA? I mean,
they had some decent games earlier in the year, but yeah, the last handful of games have been pretty comical.
Yeah,
really with the competition they're playing. But yeah, I don't know, man. As far as rest of the card, there's a lot of games tonight. That's one thing I did notice in particular too, and compared to previous days this week, a big slate of games tonight. So if there's something out there, if you can't wet your whistle in this card, not sure when that's going to come.
I have to say, there are not a lot of good spots, I think, personally.
Okay.
Kind of a weird. I don't really like right now betting games just because of the issues, scheduling and that kind of thing. I'll be interested to see how Temple plays tonight. They've been very perplexing this year.
They're up and down. Yeah.
They beat West Virginia and Florida State, but they've lost to New Hampshire and George Washington. So I don't know. I mean, they're off a win against New Jersey Institute of Technology, big deal at home. But now they get a Yale team that Yale's always going to play tough. They're always going to kind of outsmart you, Ryan. Get that? I don't know. 5.5 is tough laying that. Ever at home.
I wouldn't want to deal with Temple right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put money in Temple's hands right now.
I'll be interested to see how they play though tonight. Couple game requests from Best Gambler. Let me get to that. Vatech, Ryan. Virginia Tech basketball, coached by our boy Buzz Williams.
Buzz is there, yep.
Big Buzz. The only Buzz I like is from Home Alone.
Buzz.
Ready for some decent bowl games. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Good point. Georgia Tech, they don't play tonight, do they?
Who's that?
Or Vatech, I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Vatech doesn't play tonight.
I thought Vatech played last night.
Aren't they in the ACC? They're not.
They're in the ACC,
yeah,
but I thought Vatech played last night, if I remember.
Yeah, they're not playing tonight, bro. I'm like trying to find them, and I'm like, they're not playing tonight. Mississippi State, I know I've looked at them. Yeah, Mississippi State, that's an interesting play there, Best Gambler. I like that play. Morehead State, Ryan, a team that I've actually seen play twice this year. I've bet against them twice. I've won once, and I've lost once. I don't know if you know, Ryan, but Morehead State, their coach was let go due to basically harassing his players. I believe he pushed one or something like that. Wow. Sean Woods' his name. He's let go. They got a win last week against Central Arkansas, which who gives a flying fuck. Now they got to go on the road and play Mississippi State. Mississippi State's been pretty impressive this year. I know they lost recently to East Tennessee State and everything, but I like what I've seen out of this Mississippi State team early on. They're well coached. Ben Haaland, Ryan, you remember him? I think Moorhead's in a tailspin really right now. I would probably lay the number there with
Mississippi State.
With
Mississippi State.
Yeah.
There's another interesting game too. The speaking of East Tennessee State, they're at home against Tennessee.
Yeah, we talked about that this morning on SBRForum.com. They're getting a lot of respect in that game, Ryan. They're laying 3.5.
They're laying.
Which
points,
look, I got to tell you, I mean that's pretty. You don't think Volunteers know that? That's pretty bold to put East Tennessee State as a favorite against a rival, like an in-state rival. That's I mean, look, all due respect to East Tennessee State, I mean they do have some solid wins this year. I mean you beat Mississippi State and Mississippi State. Yeah, and the Volunteers are down, but I mean Volunteers, I mean they played pretty hard this year.
And
however,
Tennessee's challenged themselves as well.
Yeah, I actually almost want to go with East Tennessee though. I'd play them if I had to. Free pick wise, I like them. I think the line's goading you to take Tennessee.
Okay.
I think East Tennessee State's for real. I think at the end of the year, I think they're going to be a team in the tournament, and I think they're going to be like a 6-11 type of matchup, and I think they're going to give a team a problem. But we'll see. Yeah, they did play UNC and Gonzaga close. Yeah, you're right.
Tennessee played Wisconsin, Oregon, North Carolina. Just played Gonzaga. They've really challenged themselves.
If you're Rick Barnes, why do you schedule this game in East Tennessee State? I mean, I don't understand that. Why you would do that as a coach? I mean, listen, you come play us. I mean, we're Tennessee. You don't call the shots here. Indiana did that against Fort Wayne, and I didn't understand it at the time. I thought it was a bold move by Tom Crean, and it hurt that program this year. But yeah, I think tonight this is going to be a really good game. I'm going to watch this one, before all the other stuff goes on. I think it's at 7:00.
It's at 7.
Cool. That'll be a great game to watch. Good battle there in the Rocky Top.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing?
Nothing.
You just start laughing randomly. All right, so Wyoming -3, IPFW -9.5, and Iowa.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes.
The Fighting Fran McCaffrey.
That's the write-in play.
Yes, that was added after the fact. It could go up in flames like UCLA did, but you know what? It's a season of giving, Ryan.
It is.
I have 2 plays tonight. I'm doing very well in the year, and I'm looking forward to continuing that all year. Ryan, let's play a little game.
Oh, okay.
It's called Buy or Sell.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen it on a multitude of different news programs, sports programs. Basically, I give you something, and I ask you, do you buy or sell it? And feel free, listeners, to chime in. Some of these are possibly, there's a multitude of opinions on these things, but I find them interesting, and I want to get your opinion. Buy or sell? Actually, before we do buy or sell, let's talk about this game tonight.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about this Eagles game tonight.
Okay.
You got the Eagles hosting the New York Giants here, and Ryan, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to. Does this Giants team remind you a little bit of that team that made the run in the 2000? What was it, 7 or
7 and 11?
Yeah. Does this team remind you a little bit of that team?
A little.
Kind of under the radar.
Yeah, a little.
I'll tell you what, Spags has done great with the defense. Seems like he's been there for about 30 years.
Well, he's got some more pieces to work with, so that obviously helps.
Sure. They do have some injury news, though.
Big
I think
injury news.
Janoris Jenkins and...
He's probably not going to play.
He's not going to play.
Yeah.
Who else do they have out?
Well, I think he's the biggest one. I believe Justin Pugh, he's still banged up.
I think one thing,
Janoris Jenkins is the big one.
And one thing we have to point out, Lane Johnson's back. That's huge for this offensive line. And I think someone just mentioned it. Yeah, there we go. Lane Johnson, obviously the best offensive lineman they have.
Yep.
The season went up in fucking flames when he went away.
Yep.
And now they got a little bit of fortitude on that offensive line. Giants can clinch a playoff spot with a win here for the first time since 2011. They haven't been in the playoffs in a long time.
Yep.
There was some talk, Ryan, and I know our friend Trey, who, look, Trey and I disagree on a lot of things. He made he made a point that, do you think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer? I think he is.
Look,
with what he's done in the Super Bowls. He doesn't think he is.
This is a big.
He actually said he thinks he's one of the top 5 worst quarterbacks.
This
in
is
the
a
league.
big gray area because I think people put too much emphasis on championships.
Okay.
I really believe that. Because Eli Manning will probably make the Hall of Fame. Strictly for the fact that they had those 2 years where they went on nutty runs in the playoffs and they won Super Bowls. Call it fluky? Yeah, I kind of would call it fluky. You look at what he's done other than those 2 years.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot of interceptions.
Pretty pedestrian.
I hear you.
If I had a vote, I would not put him.
But I'm just looking at it from the fact of how they put people in.
I know, but if I had a vote,
like Dan Marino,
I wouldn't put him in. Right,
because
he was a fantastic player year in and year out. Did he go to did he win a Super Bowl? No.
Is Donovan McNabb
is that his fault?
Right.
In the ultimate team
right.
sport?
And that's a good point. He's a Manning also.
Yeah, and
they're kind of like the golden child.
Football's the ultimate team sport. Yeah. So, I mean, you need a lot of help, and Eli Manning got a lot of help in those 2 years.
Sure.
So.
But as far as the game's concerned, I mean, you look at what the Giants have done offensively, it's really Odell Beckham, and that's it. They don't really have that much else. Running game's one of the worst in the league. Yeah. They have Eli Manning, who, let's be honest, you want to point out, has struggled in Philadelphia over the years. I mean, I'm sure I remember the stat. How many games have they won in Philly over the last couple of years? Not a lot, if I can remember.
They just haven't beaten Philly in general.
Right,
over the last handful.
I mean, you look at that Miracle at the Meadowlands, that fiasco. I mean, the Eagles have owned them. I remember last year that 27-0 game where Eli Manning just couldn't do anything.
It's terrible.
Fletcher Cox, the guys up front were getting all over him. I'll tell you what, I think it's a pretty low-scoring game, to be honest. I mean, both these teams definitely struggle to move the football. Weather's going to be clear tonight. No precipitation issues. I got to tell you, Ryan, I think the Eagles win tonight. I really do. I think they spoil I think they put a little coal in the Giants' stockings tonight. I am concerned, though, with Odell Beckham against this secondary. One thing about the Eagles, yes, they have people back, but their secondary is still bad. Maybe Fletcher Cox kind of gets pumped up after a little Pro Bowl nod and that kind of thing. But I kind of want the Eagles at this point. I mean, they're out of it pretty much. Let's throw it all out there. I mean, let's get some blitzes involved here.
Yeah.
Let's allow. I mean, Carson looked pretty good last week. I mean, I thought the last drive was impressive. Who knows what happens if they don't go for 2 there? They could have won that game.
Right.
Carson played well, one of his better games that he's had this year. Jordan Matthews is back healthy now. I think the Eagles win tonight. I really do. I think that I think the public will be all over the Giants here, and I'm going to see through it. I like the Eagles tonight.
Yeah, I like the Eagles too. Actually, they've outscored in the last 2 games at the Lake versus the Giants. They've outscored the Giants 54-7. Not a good place for the Giants to be lately. And I'm not a big fan of road teams on Thursday night games. I'm just it's not something really that I'm really interested in wholeheartedly, and they get a lot of guys back tonight to the Eagles. Lane Johnson obviously helps. I think what the Eagles did offensively last week is pretty. I don't want to use the word impressive, but again, on the road against that defense in Baltimore, I thought Wentz looked good. They ran the ball particularly well. Odell Beckham, you said he's kind of all the Giants kind of lean on. Vereen's going to be out tonight. That's a big loss. You think Paul Perkins gets a bigger role, but Beckham, against the Eagles in Philly, he hasn't produced either in his short career. So, Eagles will be up for this game as well. Look, they hate the Giants. This is a really heated rivalry. You ask some of those players in that locker room, some players will tell you they actually hate the Giants more than the Cowboys. So they'll be up for this game. That place will be rocking. And the fact that this game opened at -3 for the Giants and now it's -1, -1.5 for the Eagles, that kind of tells you something there. So I'll go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, good point. I mean, you would think that they would, at least want to get a division win here. They don't have one this year, do they?
No.
No. Time to right the ship, and I think it'd be nice to take maybe take the Giants out of it a little bit. I mean, they're still in it regardless, but
Yep, they are.
Only 4 road teams have won on Thursday night. Good stat, man. Thank you. Both defenses will show up, take the under. Eagles need to run the ball. I don't know if they need to run the ball. Doug Peterson's been kind of quasi-weird with play calling this year. So
it's funny when they run the ball and they're not even when they're successful. When they just attempt and focus on running the ball, they either win or they're really competitive and almost win. So
I think
the needs to run.
I think the a failure of the Giants will be that coach of theirs, Ben McAdoo. I wonder how he's a coach in the NFL.
I don't know. I wonder if Santa's getting them walkie-talkies for Christmas.
Did you see that? The player thought that was a player.
Oh.
It was like some
camera?
kind of it was like a little thing. If Eagles win, bet the Lions Cowboys would lock up East.
Oh, it's on the screen.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, it should be a good one. Kind of relates on to our buy or sell thing here, Ryan, which we'll get into right now.
Okay.
Eagles obviously played tonight. Big
Yes.
game down at the Link.
Yep.
But for fans, it's not really that big. Game doesn't mean anything. Flyers off a win last night. They beat the Capitals. Great game, win the shootout.
Yeah.
How about that?
That was a great game. That was just a great hockey game, start to finish. I tweeted that out last night.
Yeah, I watched it. It was awesome. Really good stuff. They get the Devils tonight, back to back. Buy or sell? Are you more interested in the Flyers tonight? What game will you watch?
Yeah, I'll buy that because
The question, and then I'll two-part it. What game will you be watching?
Well, I watch the Flyers, obviously, to start. And, I mean, hockey games are kind of nice because they only last roughly about 2.5 hours. And obviously, depending on where it goes. If it's a close game, I'll probably still hang on and watch the Flyers. But if I think it's in a blowout, obviously, I'll change over. But you figure the game starts at 8:30 for Thursday Night Football. Flyers game will be over around 9:30, so you only risk about an hour of real time of the game. So
plus there's intermission.
But I'll buy the Flyers right now just because how well they're playing for sure.
Okay.
Best team in the city right now.
Yeah, no, they're really playing well. They're 11-2-1 over the last 14.
Yep.
Pretty good. Devils have given up 3 goals or more in the past 16 or 17 games. Yeah, and look, Steve Mason's been really fantastic.
He's been very well.
Really good
very
last
well.
night. Yeah. Number 2, obviously last night, Grayson Allen again with the odd behavior, tripping another player. And, I've talked about it. I mean, again with Grayson Allen, I mean, this is the 3rd time this has happened. It's not like it's, I heard Jay Bills talk. I mean, first time, okay, whatever. Second time, okay, what's up? I mean, why are you doing this? And third time, it's like, well, this is the 3rd time you've done this. It's like, it's some weird thing he's got going on.
Yeah, this is very bizarre.
The odd reaction after the fact, it was almost like he was annoyed that they called the foul on him. I don't know what that was all about. This is Bush League behavior. I think Grayson Allen should have to complete some sort of anger management class. I think he has some sort of odd tick involving tripping people. I don't know if he was the kid that...
It's like a trip fetish he has?
Yeah, I mean, like, was he the kid in the... Remember that Big Daddy movie where they would put that stick out and trip people?
Everyone, yeah.
Was he that kid that was always doing that?
He'd go to Central Park and trip
odd behavior.
skiers.
And coming from a coach like Coach K, who made it a point last year to tell Dylan Brooks that he shouldn't showboat in a game, it's time for Coach to step up here a little bit. I mean, this is not just a little thing. This is the 3rd time this has happened. It's waste time. It's stupid, and it makes no sense. It holds games up, and Grayson Allen almost, to me, looks like, well, I can do what I want. I mean, he almost was like, did you see him what was that whole outburst of his about? I mean, was it because he was mad that they teed him up or what? I mean,
I think he was probably mad at himself for doing that. A little pissed off at
So
himself.
why do it?
Maybe. I don't. Who knows? I mean, when you're in the heat of the moment like that, man, you know, we've all done things that we
third time
that we regret. Though I'm not making
Ryan,
an
there was a
excuse for him.
premeditation there. He did it on purpose. It was the third
Every time he's done it on purpose. Yes.
So
But
it's
I'm
like
saying,
it's not like he just happened to put his foot out there. As far as the question though, Grayson Allen's crying because he got caught doing it, and they said quit your shit. What does that mean though? Indefinitely? Does that mean we're going to suspend it for 2 games and
spend it until they say otherwise?
This is hurting his draft stock. It's also hurting his draft stock with the fact that he's not played very well this year. I think he's an immature kid, and I don't see him playing at the next level for a pretty long time, personally. Question, though, buy or sell, should Grayson Allen have to complete an anger management course before he gets back into his fold? Does he have an anger issue? Because this is kind of like one of those things where you kill small animals when you're a kid.
I don't know if he has an anger issue. He has a hard time keeping his emotions in check. I'll put it that way. So,
should he see someone?
I think maybe he should see someone. I think he should talk to someone. Yeah. So I'll buy that. I think he should talk to someone. Yeah.
Grayson Allen is not a first-round pick. Are you kidding? Are you really serious with that?
Yeah.
Who does Grayson Allen remind you of in the league right now? Is there anyone?
Not really.
Really?
I wouldn't draft him in the first round, but that's just me.
I mean, whoever does that, I think would. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say with that. So you would sell that? You don't think he needs some sort of?
No, I said I do.
Oh, you do. Okay, so you think he should have to complete some sort of course? He almost looks like he's he's like a baby. Like I'm gonna cry now because I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do, and I'm not some white elitist who thinks he can just do what he wants. And that's kind of what he's doing here.
Yeah.
I mean, crying. I mean, what?
Yeah, he was like sobbing in the locker room.
I mean,
and I guess.
What's that all about? What's that all about right there?
No,
what's that look like?
I hear you.
Now he's crying. I'm the victim here. Yeah. You're not the fucking victim. This is the third time you've done it. Quit the shit. I mean, really. I don't care who's projected. I don't think he's one now. This anger crap. I mean, look at DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, look at what way he's acted. It's kind of just followed him his whole career. This is baby stuff right here. This is immature junior high shit right here. And people like that kid there, Harry Giles, they don't need to deal with this shit. This is immature bullshit. I want to know what indefinitely means. What does that mean?
It means until otherwise.
Well, they're not going to kick him out the whole year.
I know, but he's suspended indefinitely.
Is that 2 games
until they say he's not? That's what it is.
Question C, and this is not no opinion of mine. He's like a white Russell Westbrook. Okay, well, you're actually comparing Grayson Allen to Russell Westbrook.
I think he's talking about the way he acts.
Okay, is that what you're saying? Are you comparing to how he acts or how he is?
I would
on
hope
the
so.
court?
Because
are you kidding? I mean, you're really comparing them on the court?
Let's wait and see what he says.
No, he's definitely comparing them on the court because he's a Duke fan, so I'm pretty much sure. Trey's an idiot. You're an idiot, Vegas line. Yeah, don't call me.
Wouldn't be a chat box without a little bickering.
All right, number 3. This is no opinion of mine. I'm just asking, and I'm going to bring up facts to support it. Is it hypocritical to not fine Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan, by the NFL? Do you find that hypocritical? They fine people for a lot worse and a lot more. I mean, you look at some of the things that people have been fined for over the years, Ryan. I'm going to bring up some. That little stunt he did where he jumped into the box, cool idea, but it goes against the policy, doesn't it?
Well, at the time, it's funny you bring that up because at the time he jumps in and they're getting ready to go and kick the extra point, and it's funny. I'm laying in my bed, I'm watching the game, I'm thinking to myself, and I actually say out loud, I'm like, why is that not a penalty? Like, why is that not a penalty? Excessive celebration. Nothing. Finally, Al Michaels says, by the way, he gets penalized for excessive celebration. He used a prop, and I said, okay, good. Because that's
sure.
If the refs are following the rules, that's correct. And then people were getting on social media saying, if he gets fined, it's going to be this amount, blah blah blah. People saying if he gets fined, he's going to donate it to what's the charity? Salvation Army. Thank you. I personally look if you honestly think that he was doing that to bring awareness to Salvation Army, I think that's comical. He was doing that. One, it was a Sunday night game. Two, it brought attention to himself. And three, I think he should have been fined. I mean, if we're going to hold up, look, do I think he should be fined from the outside looking in as a person looking at the NFL? No. I think it's kind of lame.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I think it's lame to find someone for that. But if you're going to follow along with the using props, so you're going to get fined. Then yeah, I think you should be.
This
fined.
is the same league that fined Ryan Clark $5,000 after Sean Taylor died after he put eye black on.
That's what
This is
I
the
know.
same league that did that.
Yeah.
This is also the same league that Troy Polamalu was injured during a game in 2011, suffered a mild concussion, had to be removed. Once he got to the sidelines, he used his cell phone to call his wife and let her know he was fine, which she said she was greatly appreciated. He was fined $10,000 for that. This league finds any way possible to find people. And, again, it's very hypocritical, I think, to say,
so.
Well, we're not going to find anyone because we thought it was bringing awareness to – we know what the Salvation Army is. We don't need –
anyone who's anybody that watches
Right.
NFL football is aware that the Cowboys are affiliated with the Salvation Army.
Right. And then
They do it every year.
Right.
They have those buckets. They have the thing at Thanksgiving at halftime where they promote it. I mean,
let me ask you something. If this was let's say this was Lucky Whitehead.
No, what if it was the Buccaneers?
Or let's say
What if it was Jameis Winston?
Right. There you go. What if it was
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Screw the Cowboys. What if it was Jameis Winston?
Right.
That scrambles up the middle on a quarterback draw for a touchdown that puts them ahead. He's fired up. He goes, "I'm going to hop in the Salvation Army."
Oh,
thing."
yeah.
I mean, this thing would have blown up.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I guess it's some sort of, I'm sure the Salvation Army donation buckets will get a lot more donations this week.
Well, they have.
They
have.
And that's fine. I'm just saying it was more of just a question on do we think that it's hypocritical. I think it's hypocritical. Because of some of the things that people have been fined for, They're doing a poll here, Ryan, for how long should Grayson Allen be suspended? And 46% are voting no suspension, 48 more than 3 games.
Yep.
There's not a lot of wiggle room between the refs.
No in between, yeah. It's either
You're
nothing
either
or more
nothing
than 3.
or, yeah. But as a college kid, you have to do something. I mean, really. We've missed some stuff here. If he was black, would you say he's a good player in the league? Listen, Trey, we've had this conversation before. It's no secret that white players aren't successful in the NBA much anymore. I mean, it's no secret. I mean, do we have to bring up this again? Jimmer Fredette, Dan Dickau, Adam Morrison, J.J. Redick. I mean, none of these players evolved into superstars. I'm sorry. I mean, there's nothing I can say about it. Find me one other than Gordon Hayward. Is Gordon Hayward even a superstar? I don't think.
He's a good player.
He's a good player, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Not someone you build your
Find
team
me a Hall of Famer in the last 10 years that was white in the NBA. I'm sorry. There's not. And to say he's the number 1 pick, I can't say that. I wouldn't want my team to draft him personally, but I mean, come on, what? I mean, we've proved that. I mean, there's no secret about that. Yeah, he's definitely athletic for sure. But to compare him to Russell Westbrook's a little ridiculous. Russell Westbrook's arguably the best player in the league.
The step up from college to NBA is really drastic, and just because someone is quote unquote crazy athletic, you see that in college. You saw it when he was in high school. Let's see what he does when he steps up. Everyone around him.
Jimmer Fredette was 100 times better than Grayson Allen. You'd agree with that, right?
Yeah, Jimmer was a great talent, right?
He's not even in the league. It's the fact that he's not big enough to play in the league. Doesn't matter how much energy he has. I'm just saying, I don't think he's a number. If he's a first-round pick, I'll give you $500. I'm willing to put that on the air. I don't see it happening. Ryan, let's get into the 5 here. A good little segment there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Kind of fun. Grayson's 6'5". He didn't look 6'5" on TV.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And those are around college.
Is that the typical the measurement in the league where you add like 2 or 3 inches to your? I remember Iverson used to do that. He said he was 6 foot, and he was like literally 5'9", 5'10".
Always.
So yeah, I don't see it. Grayson's 6'5". I'm not sure I believe that. So yeah.
Grayson averaging 16, 4, and 3. Over 31 minutes this year.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
and half those he's been out in.
Okay. So. But yeah, so I mean, obviously that's.
I mean, Grayson Allen's not even the best guard on that team, so
I don't think Grayson will do anything in the NBA. That's just my opinion.
Do we really believe he's 6'5"? Do we really believe that? I would say 6'2", maybe, but he definitely doesn't look 6'5" on TV.
Yeah.
What do you got, Ryan?
Yeah, 5 questions here. Couple sports, couple just everyday life related. So, first one, if you could have anyone on this show to interview,
James Reno. Real quick, sorry, Ryan. What are you talking about? I need a recommendation. One leg of a teaser. So you're asking us what we would do tonight, or what?
I guess, yeah.
All right, get back to me.
I guess he needs a teaser pick.
Okay.
Piece, I should say.
Okay, what do you got, Ryan? Sorry.
If you could interview one person in sports on this show, who would it be?
One person in sports, who would it be? Right now, that's a great question, Ryan. Probably Grayson Allen.
Okay.
I want to know why he's doing the sort of thing that he's doing. If I can get into Grayson's head and he'd have to answer any question that I present to him, it would be him.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, I think he's a perplexing figure, and I'd like to learn more about him. And I want to know how tall he really is.
I wonder if he would answer the tough question.
He has to answer. That would be the rule.
Would he answer the tough questions?
Yeah. But as far as in the world, it wouldn't be anyone in sports. What do you like, Ryan? Who would you interview?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, that's a good one.
Bring Joe on the program.
Okay.
Let's air it out.
You want to air the grievances?
Let's get it out there. Let's get everything out there. Because I think that would be.
So clearly, he'd have to answer all the questions.
I think, yeah. I mean, sure. I think he would be an extremely interesting one, just because, obviously for obvious reasons, and where he stands going forward and what his future holds. Because that'd be one of my questions is to you, what does your future look like?
Right.
And I think that would be an extremely interesting response from him.
Sure.
So,
that's a good one, Ryan.
Yeah. Number 2, I know you're not a big Christmas guy, but you do like a few Christmas movies, I know. Give me your favorite Christmas movie. All
right. Favorite Christmas movie? I would probably go with, I don't know, Home Alone's pretty good. I mean,
It's a classic.
Yeah, definitely a good one.
What's your favorite quote from Home Alone, Jeff?
Favorite quote? Well, the best scene I think in the movie is that pizza scene when they like early in the movie when
you mean with the family?
Kevin walks in. He's like,
yeah.
"Did anyone order me a plain cheese?"
And then Buzz goes,
"Oh yeah, we
did. But if you want any, someone's gonna have to barf it all up because it's gone."
Yeah.
And then the aunt goes, "Fuller,
yeah, go easy on the Pepsi."
That's a good scene.
And
it's funny. I was there with my parents. This was earlier in the month. And we watched Home Alone, like we have a Sunday thing, like we'll eat dinner and we'll put a movie on or whatever. And depending on the movie, sometimes I'll stay for it all, sometimes I won't. And that time it was Home Alone, so I stayed for it all. And during that scene that you're talking about, right, that Buzz is instigating Kevin. Yeah. My mom looks up and goes, "That Buzz is such a dick." And I was like, and I laughed.
Yeah, he definitely.
I laughed hysterically because I was like, "You're right. Like he's a great villain."
Yeah, that's a funny one, Ryan.
People just love to instigate.
Yeah, that's that shithead Chris Barr.
Of course it is. Shitter's full. that cousin Eddie.
Yeah, I've seen that movie so many times.
You hate that movie.
I don't really like it.
I heard you don't like that movie from your family.
Yeah, I don't like that. No. They actually watched it at Thanksgiving. They watch it every year, and I was the one person that I went in and watched a John Wayne movie, I think.
It's pretty close for me between Home Alone and Christmas Vacation.
Definitely Home Alone 1, though.
You know
the original.
Yeah, I like number 2 actually. Too. I think it's actually pretty close to number 1. I also like the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. That's funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I think that's a funny movie though.
Yeah, the issue I have with them, there's so many there's
a lot.
They make so many remakes of them.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
give me your
best Christmas movie. Yeah. What would you pick?
A Christmas.
I hate that movie also. I hate it. Do you like that movie?
I like it. I do like it. I've seen it so many times though.
Yeah.
I watch it once a year and that's it. Other movies I can continue to watch, but
yeah.
We had a conversation the other night in the kitchen, Jeff. This is parlayed into the second question or the third question. I'd be interested to see the listeners' response more than us. But what's your favorite Christmas cookie? Because I love.
Yeah, I don't really.
I love Christmas cookies. My mom sends me a bunch.
Yeah, so, I definitely like we had them at the party the other night. Petito's Bakery in South Philly. A friend of the family brings them. They have these little sugar little sugar ball cookies. They're like creamed.
Yeah,
they're banging.
They're good.
The ones my mom wouldn't let anyone eat.
Yeah,
they're the best.
Yeah,
Only Italian cookies. Like I'm not into like I hate chocolate chip cookies. I hate like those sand tart. I'm not into any of that.
Yeah, look, I like all type of cookies. Really, the peanut butter blossoms, like with the peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
And the Hershey Kiss in the center are fantastic.
I hate peanut butter.
My mom, you're
brutal.
nuts. My mom makes homemade snickerdoodles, which is like sugar and cinnamon, which is fantastic. But Italian cookies are great, and it's a shame my Noni and Pop Up are getting old and they don't make
nothing better than Oreos. Yeah,
they don't make Christmas cookies anymore. But the Italian like pizzelles and biscotti and the little. It's very similar to what your mom likes, the icing cookies.
Dude,
they make
best,
those.
dude.
Those are amazing. It's a shame they don't make them anymore because they're fantastic. I'll have to get the recipe and try to make them one year. But
nothing better than Oreos. Yeah, I mean Oreos not really a Christmas cookie, but
Christmas cookie.
I definitely like the holiday ones. Jeff was at Waffle Fries and Scope. You were eating earlier. Yeah. I mean it was just Nino's.
Waffle Fries.
The one cook was making them, and I just grabbed one. They were like cheese fries or whatever. White chocolate dipped Oreos.
Never had them. Yeah. I'm not a big white chocolate fan.
Yeah, me either.
Number 4, what's your go-to takeout food?
That's a tough one.
Go-to. I mean, like if it's okay. What's your go-to? I'll put it this way. So I'll make it easier for you. What do you order the most?
Okay, what do I order the most? Well, definitely cheesesteaks. I mean, definitely
steaks.
Yeah, I mean, I eat cheeseburger subs too. I mean, I like
you like a good steak, huh?
Yeah,
steak sandwich.
Speeds. A place around here. I got to go to that place right.
I like steak sandwiches.
Yeah, they're the best. Chinese. I really like. I really have to like
Chinese.
Yeah, I really have to be in the mood for those.
I haven't had Chinese in months.
I actually had it last week. I had.
I saw your little leftovers in the fridge there.
I had some General Tso's, and I like an egg roll.
The owner of that just recently died. Did you know that?
Okay.
The maker of that, the creator.
Yeah, that's
of General
the one
Tso's.
issue. Yeah, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, he was 99 years old.
That's the one concern I have. Like, what am I actually eating? Like, is it actually chicken?
Sure,
but
it's not.
Yeah, I definitely like. I like Chinese once in a while. The one with Chinese, the problem I don't like with it is it's you get full quick and then you get hungry right away. It's like a reoccurring thing.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I definitely like.
So steaks.
Yeah, steak sandwiches, sure.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
I like chicken fingers and that kind of stuff too. Why do you laugh at that?
I don't know.
I mean, what do you?
Chicken fingers and fries.
Yeah, I like getting like the hot sauce and buffalo chicken tenders are the best, man.
They're nice. Yeah, I like Chinese. I like. I'm more like. I like
sushi way more. Like I eat sushi every week.
Sushi's good.
Like, don't I eat sushi every week?
Yeah. I'd probably say Primo's, though. Primo's has been fantastic. And eggnog, agreed. Someone proposed the favorite holiday treat. Best gambler, you and I seem to have a pretty similar...
Jeff, you eat anything and everything. Yeah, dude, that's... I mean, how many times we could continue to, talk about that? I mean, we get it.
Best gambler, what's your favorite eggnog? Just post that on there. I'm just curious. You and I have a very similar when it comes to alcoholic beverage. We seem to like the similar things.
Buffalo chicken. Yeah, buffalo wings.
I hate wings.
I love wings.
I hate wings. I think wings and ribs are two of the most overrated foods.
Ribs I definitely
Ribs
agree
and chicken wings are the two
Yeah.
most overrated foods in the
Yeah, I
world.
disagree. I love wings. Wings are great, but you got to get the right wings. Like, I don't like them smothered in sauce. Like, just a little bit.
Okay.
Eggnog I've never had, so I can't really.
I'm gonna buy it this week. I'll let you try it.
I'm not gonna try it.
Actually, I'm not gonna let you try it because you'll just waste it.
Right.
'Cause I know you won't like it.
Right. Yeah, I don't like that.
Southern Comfort, yes. Best gambler. Dude, I'll tell you, you and I, same page. Was actually voted by Bon Appetit magazine as the best seasonal eggnog, actually. So
Buffalo Wild Wings I've never ate there, so I can't really comment. I just like wings from random bars, that kind of thing. Good question, Ryan.
yeah, last question, wrap things up, will be if you could play one sport / position, what would it be? Professional. And you could be good at it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, I was quite the good quarterback when I was younger. You laugh at it.
I find that hard to believe.
I was young.
You look
I was
more like a nose
I was
tackle.
7 or 8, dude. I was a young kid. I would probably play quarterback. That'd be pretty
Quarterback?
cool. Yeah. Or I don't know. Center would be cool. Like I'd want to dunk. I want to dunk a basketball. You know.
A center in basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good question, right?
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of. I think quarterback would be interesting. Obviously, I'll tell you what. A first line center in hockey, I think, would be extremely fun as well. I think hockey. If you could be really skilled at hockey, some of the stuff those guys do with the puck is ridiculous.
Yeah, NFL quarterback would
That's obviously high on everyone's.
backup quarterback, big bucks, not too much action, and still get a hot chick. Yeah.
Think about Chase Daniel.
Yeah. Good life.
He's making like $10 million.
I'd actually almost want to be the third string.
It's unreal.
Because then I never am going to get called on.
Yeah, but they don't really usually dress 3 quarterbacks, so I mean, you don't really make too much money.
NHL goalie.
Interesting.
I wouldn't want
Tough job.
I wouldn't want that puck coming at me at all times. Like I'm good.
You got a lot of padding, Jeff.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just.
The puck never hurts a goalie, like never.
Yeah.
It's always like them getting bent up the wrong way, or
Yeah, I always wondered. Like
hamstring.
I would see like goalies, like the Kings goalie's injured. I think.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Quick.
like how do you get injured as a goalie?
It's always like they get bent the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is.
They're feeble, I guess. I don't know. But all right, Ryan, great stuff. Good questions. Good show today. Fun stuff. We'll be back. Wow, when will we be back, Ryan? Well, Saturday's Christmas Eve.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll do like an NFL preview or something late at night or something. I don't know. Feel free, guys. Follow me on Twitter. You know where to find me. 3 plays tonight. I'm on Wyoming -3.5, IPFW -9.5, and Iowa -28. Everyone have a great night. And if I don't talk to you, enjoy the holiday and Merry Christmas to you and yours, wherever you might be on this merry holiday. Have a great night. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. You too. Appreciate you listening. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you. Bye-bye.